I had a woman send me an email today. Now, side note, so you and I can be on the same page. I started a YouTube channel back in 2009. I took it down in 2013. But in 2009, I was basically preaching the message of women not being financially dependent on a man. I was still very much a pick-me. I still had a lot of healing and growing to do. But I learned that much because I was fresh out of a divorce where I was a stay-at-home mom and I was financially dependent on a man. Much like now, I had women back then fighting me in my comments. I don't know what I'm talking about. Their husband would never. Their husband would never. They're in a good situation. I'm just jealous. Everybody doesn't want to be a boss, babe. Everybody doesn't want to do yada, yada, yada. A lot of the people who followed my content back then had trouble finding me again because I went under my natural name. Surprise, surprise, what I use now is a stage name. So as I'm gaining popularity in my new channel that I started back in 2017, a lot of those women are finding me again because I'm coming up on their feeds. So I had an email from a woman that I got today, and she said, "You're not going to know who I am. You know, I used to follow you back on your other channel. I'm glad I found you again." And she said, "I've thought about you for all these years, and I just want to apologize." Now, that's something that doesn't happen. People usually just say stuff and they let it be. I never get apologies. But she said, "I just want to apologize to you because I remember trying to discredit you in your comment section of one of your videos. And I told you that basically, you don't know what you're talking about. My husband would never. We're good, blah, blah, blah." She said, 2 years ago, my husband left me for one of his clients. She said the change, even though they had been seeing each other for a while, it literally for her just happened overnight. He came to her one day when he got home from work, said he had been seeing somebody else and that he was moving out. The next day, he was out. The next week, he came and got all of his shit, and that was the end. She said she was lucky because her parents, they had money for retirement saved up, so they were able to help her take care of the bills. So she put him on child support, and he wound up not paying it and moving in with his new woman. Had it not been for her parents, she said she would have been out on the street. And she said even though her parents were helping her, they let it be known to her every single time they gave her a dime and they made her pay it back. She said her parents helped her financially just enough to keep her and the kids off the street. She took a job at a grocery store making crappy money, working long hours. Her parents watched her kids for her, and they bitched and complained about that too, so it was not a very pleasant situation to be in. The one thing that she said later in her email was the man she married was not the man she divorced. And she said, "I just want to apologize to you for writing you off. I should have listened." So I want to be nosy. I need more information. So I emailed her back and I said, "Do you mind if I keep you anonymous, but I share this information?" And she said, "Sure, okay." I said, "How was you guys' marriage before this happened?" She said it was great. They communicated, they spent time together. She said she thought they were prioritizing their relationship. They were great parents together. And she said she said it literally blindsided her. She had no signs prior. He was a wonderful husband. I thanked her for filling me in on what happened. I let her know that I accept her apology. I mean, I had totally forgotten about, I don't, remember things like that. But, and I just let her know, hey, I was once there. That's why I talk about the things that I talk about. And I just said, thank you so much for reaching out to me. I really appreciate it. And she's doing a lot better now. She said she's almost done paying her parents back, and she's thinking about going back to school once she gets her kids situated and everything. But I say all that to say this. There isn't a day that goes by that somebody, either to me or to somebody else in their comment section, or they make their own videos. And I've seen a video doing this actually recently. I think I even talked about it. I'm not sure. I think I did. Where they're like, we're good. We're fine. You know, I picked better or something. I don't know, something. This could happen to anybody. Just like that woman who didn't have a clue what was going on until it was fucking over. This shit could happen to any... Y'all think that people in divorce court were people in abusive relationships the whole entire time? There were literal... I know men use this excuse all the time. I was blindsided. But there are actually people there who literally didn't know until they were being served papers, or until after somebody had filed. There are people who thought their marriages were amazing. No one's exempt from a bullshitter. Nobody's exempt in a situation where we're all imperfect human beings with free will, with the power to make good decisions and bad decisions. We always say it could never be us. And you know what? I'll give you that. Maybe you wouldn't continue on once you saw the first sign of someone being abusive. But what if you're not given signs? Much like this woman wasn't given any signs until that man was leaving. And then what? So you might not end up with an abuser, but you could very well end up in a situation where a man's like, I'm out. No warning. So it could very well be you. So never look down on anybody else. Never talk shit to or on other people. Never look down on other people. Never pat yourself on the back because you're doing the right thing. It could end up being you.